Hi guys, so welcome back to another episode of the PS2 Collector. I am your host, Gamer1994, and as usual, what I say in every video, I'm on the hunt to collect every single PS2 game that was released worldwide. Now, at the moment in my current collection, I have 58 games out of 4,376. So now the hunt has officially begun. So just to make you guys aware, whilst I was at my local game store, I did tell the owner, am I allowed to record within your store? He respectfully said no, which I'm not going to argue with. But whilst I was there, I did manage to pick up a couple of games. I'm going to show them in this video. Stay tuned. Right, the first game I'm going to show you are a couple of shovelware games. I just want to get them out of the way. And those are, let the drum roll, iToy Play 1, iToy Play 2, and iToy Play 3. So these games at the time were meant to be innovative. It was a new concept, and Sony did try hard to sell the iToy. So this allowed gamers to interact with the game. The idea was brilliant, but the execution was, let's say it was 50-50. Some people did enjoy it, and some people like, nah, I'm sticking to my original gaming. But the iToy did lead to future success with such as the Xbox Connect, and it also inspired the VR and VR2. So basically this was the VR in the PS2 era. So the prices for these games are absolutely dirt cheap. I managed to get these three games for £1.50. So basically it's 50p for this, 50p for this, and 50p for this. And I did enjoy getting this one because it's an orange label. Because in Europe we mainly get blue label games. For one to be orange, it's an extra bonus. So yeah, why not? So that's games number 59, 60, and 61. The next game I absolutely never heard of. It was a blind buy, and it's got quite a funny name, Buster Block. Now, whilst looking at the screenshots, I think this is a budget title, and it's a simple brick breaking game. Yeah, it's got 150 levels, and yeah, I never heard of this game whatsoever. And yeah, I was quite surprised about the price for it, only 50p. So yep, that's game number 62. Game number 63 is another sports title, which, especially a sport that I don't enjoy watching, I probably think is the most boring sport on earth. So if there are any golf fans out there, I do apologize, but that's my opinion. I absolutely despise golf. And that is Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2007. This game was also 50p. It is very cheap, as with sport titles at the time. And yeah, it's a basic golf game. Never gonna play it. If you do have any memories about this game, and if you're a golf enthusiast or golf fan, tell me, is this game worth playing? Am I missing out, or am I being overreactive over golf? Yeah, just leave in the comments below. Yep, and that's game number 63. Game number 64 is another game that I absolutely never heard of. That was the golden thing about the PS2. You find games that you never heard of and thinking, whoa, what is that? What did I miss out on? That's why the PS2 is the golden generation of gaming. And that, my friends, is World Super Police. Yep, World Super. So this basically is a police game. At the time, I thought it was a racing game, but I think you have to be a cop officer and do some missions. That's me just guessing. But yeah, if you do have any memories about this game, leave in the comments below. And yeah, I just read the reviews. It got mediocre reviews for the time. It's quite understandable. But yeah, it does go for not expensive, but £1.50. You can't go wrong. That, my friends, is game number 64. Game number 65 is a movie, and one of my favorite movies at the time. and that is Percy Jackson's King Kong, another cheap game, only £1. For me, I'm not a fan of this game. I think I only played the first level, did not like it whatsoever. Yeah, it's just a movie tie-in game, and things with movie tie-in games, when it comes to the gaming, they hardly are successful. But yeah, I just bought it because of the movie, and yeah, it's quite cheap. And if you do have recommendations for me to play, leave in the comments below. And that, my friends, is game number 65. Game number 66 is a PSP port of one of my favorite arcade racing game series of all time, and that is Burnout Dominator. So this game was originally released on the PSP, then it got imported to the PS2. For me, with porting games from PSP to PS2, the game does not run well. There are graphical issues and frame rate issues. Not to say this is a bad game. For me, when it comes to the Burnout series, I have a very high standard, and for me, sadly to say, not I'm saying it's a bad game. When it comes to Burnout games, this is mediocre for me. This is like Burnout 2. It's not at the highest peak, which is Burnout 3, Burnout Revenge, and Burnout Paradise. Those games are absolutely legendary level. But this game for me did disappoint with the performance issues. But it's a great game. The price I paid for this game was £5, which is an absolute steal, especially with Burnout games, which go for generally about £7 to £10. This game was cheap. And just to make you aware, with late PS2 games, I found out just now, it did not have the memory card holder. Instead, it had the PlayStation logo. As for the time, because we did move on to the PS3 and to save costs, just made a generic case, which I find quite cool and interesting. And that, my friends, is game number, let me count it, 66. Game number 67 is another cheap game, and that is, this is Football 2002. Now, this game was meant to compete with the Pro Evolution Soccer series and FIFA series, and it absolutely bombed. I'm not being bad to it, but at the time, when it comes to football games, FIFA and Pro Evolution Soccer, and those games were expensive. If you could not get these games, you end up with a game like this. Now, again, I'm into my football games. At the time, I was playing Pro Evolution Soccer, and this game was an afterthought, and I never gave it a go, never will. And yet, it is dirt cheap, only 50p, and if you do enjoy football games, try this. And that, my friends, is game number 67. And the next game in my collection is one of my favorite video game series of all time, and it began in a cold November day in 2002, and that is Ratchet and Clank. For me, the Ratchet and Clank series is one of my favorite series of all time. The game is absolutely timeless, and as a kid when I got this, it blew me away. The graphics, the visuals, the world, the planets, the golden balls, the golden weapons, the skill points. What else do I need to say? Absolutely fun game to play, and it created one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. That's going good to even this day of the release of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. This game does go for a pretty penny. I won't say that much, but it goes for £10 due to the popularity of this game. And if you've not played the Ratchet and Clank series and you want to know the origins of it, please give this game a go. Brilliant. And that, my friend, is game number 68. Game number 69 is another game that I never heard of. It is similar to Ratchet and Clank, but a budget title version, if that makes sense. And that is Haven Call of the King. For me personally, I've never played this game. This is the first time I've even heard of it, to be fair. It is dirt cheap. I read the reviews online. It got mediocre reviews, and it did so bad it never got a sequel. That's what I'm hearing. But yeah, if you do have any fond memories, or if you think I'm over exaggerating how bad this game was, leave it in the comments below. And that, my friends, is game number 69. The final game of this video for me is bittersweet, because this game, for its time, the developers, now I'm gonna give the developers of this game a huge credit, because the amount of effort of detail that they put in this game is understated. These guys actually went throughout London mapping it and putting it into this game, and to make things even more realistic, they actually put real life cars in the game based in the UK. So I was surprised when I played this game. I'm thinking, damn, that's my mum's car. My mum's car was in this game. I'm thinking, whoa, the realism, the amount of attention to detail. This game, for me, I'm surprised that it actually bombed. And that game, my friends, is one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm gonna say it, and that is the cult classic, the original Getaway. Absolute masterpiece. They've got London down to the cut with its details, the road markings, the buildings. What else do I need to say? And if you've not played this game before, you have to give it a chance, because this game, for me, it was the UK version of GTA, and dare I say, it was more, at the time, don't get me wrong people, at the time, it was more graphically superior, and the details into it, the realism into it, was way better than Grand Theft Auto. Please change my mind. If you disagree with that, please change my mind. Put in the comments below if you disagree. I'm just gonna say it. The value of this game, the price I paid for it in checks was £4. £4 for a masterpiece. No comment, absolute bargain. And this game did do well and led to a sequel of Getaway Black Monday. And that, my friends, the Getaway series did not go on to the next generation. It just stayed on the PS2. For me, that was a tremendous shame. I really wanted this game to succeed, but it didn't. But yeah, if the developers are still out there, please, and I mean this with like proper audacity, please remake this game for the PS5, Xbox, and the Nintendo Switch. Absolute masterpiece. And that, my friends, is the final game of this video, game number 70. Right guys, so if you have enjoyed this video, if you want to see more content like this, please leave a subscribe and a bell for the notification button. And yeah, if you want to know more about the game, if you want to know more about my hunt, please leave it in the comments below. Anyways, until next time, don't forget to subscribe. See you later.